Yeah, OTB Spreads Prediction Show coming to you live March 22nd on a big Sunday of madness. But we're going to be talking NBA. I took a couple days off of the YouTube grind, was wanting to be dialed in and had no time. Obviously, round of 64 starts at 12 o'clock, goes till 11 p.m. Round of 32, we're wrapping that up today. So the last couple days have been busy. Guys, we absolutely cashed on Friday. Saturday was another solid day, late night. The only really rough day we had was Thursday. And it wasn't even that we lost bad. We just had the money on the wrong side of things. So I follow a unit system, and I had my units put on the lower units were on the ones we won. The higher units were on the ones that we lost. So just in the balancing game of things, we had our bigger wagers on the ones that took the L. So that's the only reason Thursday wrapped up in the negative, because we actually won more games than we lost. We lost the important ones there. But yeah, man, it's been a run. Been playing really well. NBA's been a weird spot lately, honestly, with the player prop side of things. Player props have been missing a little bit by a leg or two. Just the other night, we missed one by a rebound. We had a plus 6,000 parlay last night that looked like it should have cashed if Chris Dunn could have got one more steal. So just some weird things. Chris Dunn, the other night, we had him for 4 assists. He had 3. There was another guy that we had that for 4 assists that always gets 4. It was Dante DiVincenzo, missed on a parlay first. So this week we've been missing some stuff by one leg. That always tells me we're on the right side of things. It's just a matter of turning the corner. I think things are tightening up a little bit here with the playoff race. Guys aren't hitting their stats. You know, we see it go one or two ways. Guys get hot and start beating the breaks off the books on their lines, or they underperform. And right now, I've kind of seen a lot of guys underperforming. Obviously, Luka is a different side of things, but I always say there's a Laker tax that you got to pay. Luka has no value unless he gets you 50. Honestly, he's got to get you 40 plus for you to really make money on Luka. You know, I don't hate his stat lines, but there's a lot of other guys I'd rather bet on out there on a night-to-night basis. I know it feels safe to take Luka for 3 threes at minus 300, but you know what I mean? You got to spend $300 just to make 100 on it. And when you throw that in the parlay, it's kind of dangerous at times. So I would rather throw something in a parlay that has a good chance. So if you guys hear a lot of background noise today, I am with my kids. They're over here. So I've got them. And taking care of them today is my oldest, and their mom is at a baseball game. So, and speaking of that, we've got baseball coming up here in a couple of days. MLB, I just dropped an MLB poll. You know, who do you think is the best hitting lineup in the MLBs? Last year, I was one of the top guys in the whole entire industry for home runs. We cashed home run after home run. It felt every single week. I'm actually a little nervous about this one because I kind of made a name for myself on the home runs, and now it feels like I got to own up to it and repeat and hit like one a day. It felt like for a while, but yeah, we really got to rolling there. On 4th of July, we hit 4 home run parlays, which was unheard of. But yeah. Enough with all the small talk and the reviews. I want to get into this thing, get it wrapped up, and go from there. Because the first game up that we got on the slate is Denver and the Trailblazers, and the Trailblazers are in a weird spot because they got beat by 40 last time. We were on the Trailblazer side of things last time they played, and Trailblazers are 4-6 against the spread over their last 10. Nuggets are 4-6 against the spread in their last 10. So you got two teams covering the struggle to cover the spread, but the Nuggets play really good at home. They're dog at home. They're phenomenal. I do think that the Nuggets probably edge this thing out, but I'm having a hard time saying the Nuggets are going to win by 10 against Trailblazers. They got to feel a certain way about that last game. Injury report looking pretty good overall. I want to double check this injury report one more time for Portland, because Portland's the one we got to watch out for. Portland will just randomly sit some guys. Yeah. It looks like everybody's playing here on this Portland team tonight. Shaedon Sharp's obviously still out. But Jerami Grant, he's probable. He's a big factor, man. Peyton Watson's still out with that hamstring. I kind of want to go Denver here. Just lay the 9. They got to win by 10. I keep gravitating into this one on the Trailblazers a little bit, but it feels trappy, man. It feels like the true edge, you know, is is right around where the books got it. I think Denver ends up winning this thing somewhere between like 9 to 13 points, and that's where I think it shakes out. I know that this team plays very tough, but this Denver team at home, Aaron Gordon, Christian Braun back in the lineup, they handled this Portland team on the road in Portland by 40 last time they played them without those guys. Yeah, I can't fade Denver here early on. As much as I would like to and have those points in my pocket, it just feels like a trap spot. They're baiting you with a short line, and that's what they're doing here. They're baiting you with a short line. That's what it feels like to me. It smells a little bit. But I believe Denver goes ahead and takes care of business and covers it by, let's call it 13. They win today 13. And that final score is going to be 114 to 127. So give me Denver Nuggets. I'll lay the points. On to the next guys. Next one up on the slate, we got the Nets Kings, man. Nobody likes this game. It's a shit game. Honestly, I get tired of having to even handicap anything that has to do with the Wizards these days, anything that has to do with Kings, Wizards, fucking Nets. I mean, all these teams, man, it just, I want to just look at my phone here and see where the spread's moving. I had a screenshot of it last night before I went to bed, see if it did anything here. Yeah, line opened up. Line opened up at 3.5. It's moved. So let me go ahead and take. Let me just double check this injury report on the Nets here before I go ahead and make a shout out here on who I want to take. Damn, everybody's out for the Nets. Porter, Claxton, Clowney. I guess I'm gonna have to go with. That's why the line moved. But look, shit, everybody's out for the Kings. Look at this injury report, man. This injury report is insane. You got Terrence Mann. He's probable, but outside of that, Michael Porter Jr., Nick Claxton, Noah Clowney, Deron Sharp, Igor Dimon, all out. Then over on the Kings side, got Russell Westbrook, Keegan Murray, DeAndre Hunter. Obviously, Sabonis and Levine have been shut down. But, dude, you've got the whole fucking Sacramento lineup other than DeMar DeRozan sitting pretty much. But they still have that, that Clifford cat. I'm going to have to go with the Kings here, lay the 6.5. Doesn't feel good laying 6.5 with the Kings. I don't know if they have the offense to do it, but who's going to score the ball? I mean, you still got Zaire Williams and that Noah Tratore. Man, this is a tough one to handicap because these guys get up for these games sometimes. When the starters are out and the lineups are this banged up, now you got bench players coming in, getting a shot in the NBA, and they get up for these games. They play really tough. I could see a world where the Nets play well today, but they're on the road in Sacramento, and I think Sacramento still has bigger size on the interior, especially with Nick Claxton sitting out this game. So I'm going to have to lay the 6.5. I don't love that. But that's why the line moved. Obviously, they benched everybody for the Nets. And that's kind of where we're at, guys. Maybe go under on this game, under 218. I think this game kind of finishes out probably like a 106 to 110 type of game, which would keep the spread in play. I do think the spread is very active on this one. I think nobody gets blown out. I think it's a fairly close game. So I'd want to stay off the spread here, but if you made me pick a side, 6.5, I'd lay it with the Kings. But I like the under here at 218, 219. So give me the under. And let's keep it moving on to the next play. Short slate, 5-game slate. I just told you I hate handicapping the Wizards, Kings, and Nets these days because one, injury report is full always, and you don't know who you're getting from a night-to-night basis. Another team that's hard to handicap is the Knicks because the Knicks don't know what type of ball they want to play. They don't know how to play team ball. They have looked a little bit better of late. But look, here we go. The New York Knicks are at home where they've absolutely killed it all year long. They're laying 21 points against the Wizards. They've got a pretty healthy lineup tonight. Double check this injury report. Josh Hart may or may not play. They've already ruled out Shamet. He's out. But look, Wizards are 0-14 on the money line. Knicks are 7-3 in their last 10 games against the Wizards alone, against the spread. So they cover against the Wizards a lot. This Wizards team is also still really banged up. They've got all their main pieces back. Alexander Sarr is going to play tonight. But man, I have a hard time seeing the Wizards going into Madison Square Garden and competing with these guys, but they've shown up time and time again. This Wizards team has shown up and covered some spreads, but here as of late they haven't. And I think what we do is we fall in love with, yeah, but they cover. Wizards are 4-6 against the spread. They're just under 500 on covering the spread. And same with the Knicks. They're just around 500 on covering the spread, but at home they cover at a high clip. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to lay the points with the Knicks. I don't love it, man. This is a slate that if you're betting game lines and you're betting spreads, I don't love it. You know, you want to rip off and talk, oh, let's go ahead and call the money line winners. I think, yeah, Nuggets win money line, Kings win money line, Knicks win money line. Timberwolves and Celtics, we'll have to see what that active roster looks like, and we'll get into that in a minute. Because Timberwolves money line could be in play, but it's most likely Celtics depending on the injury report. And then Suns Raptors, that's going to be your best game of the night in my opinion, because they have the least amount of guys sitting. Yeah, this Sunday slate, honestly, as the injury reports come out, a lot of guys are sitting today. There's definitely opportunity there because the lines are going to be short for player props most likely on a couple of the bench players, or they're going to be overpriced. So I'll dive into that later, and I'll drop that in my VIP premium package. But yeah, as far as game lines go, they have a lot of these lines sitting at weird prices, and here I'm gonna have to lay it with the Knicks, man. I don't want to lay it with the Knicks, but they're too good at home, and the Wizards are just too bad, period, for me to want to think that they can hang with the Knicks by 21 points. So the Knicks probably win this by 30. They need this game, honestly. So give me the Knicks to win by a lot. Yep, keep it moving. So we are getting into that game we just talked about, Timberwolves, Boston. I think this is an important one to talk about because of the injury report. Anthony Edwards is still out. Naz Reid is questionable. But Jaylen Brown is going to play, it looks like. The reason why I said this is because I was reading something that showed that Jason Tatum might be out. Now, if Jason Tatum sat, I would be a little concerned on this game. Now, I like Rudy Gobert. I like Julius Randle. They surprised me last week winning a game. I know they're on the road in Boston, and they haven't been that great on the road. The Timberwolves are 4-6 against the spread. Once again, Celtics 5-5. You have two mediocre teams against the spread over the last 10 games. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Timberwolves here, plus 10. I want those points in my pocket. I think they can play defensively tough enough against the Celtics to keep this a ball game, keep it within a couple possessions. You're giving me up and over 4 possessions. I think that the Timberwolves are still a playoff caliber team. I know that the East is the Celtics to lose at this point. They're going to have to guard Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, Derek White, and fucking Peyton Pritchard tonight. That's 4 really talented guys out there. And Keta is going to be playing. So with all that said, it makes you want to take the Celtics. I completely understand why you would want to. They're the most talented roster in the East. They're getting healthy. The rumors of some of these guys sitting today, it looks like it's not going to be the case. Jaylen Brown is going to play. Jason Tatum's not resting. With that, it smells like a recipe for a blowout. But this Timberwolves team, just the last game, they looked really, really good. Even without Edwards, I was very surprised. I think that this thing stays within a couple of possessions. My take on this is the final score is going to be 115-106. And yeah, that 10 points comes in handy, just edging it out. I don't see this turning into a blowout. I think the Timberwolves can keep this close enough. Their biggest thing is shooting the ball. Celtics have a tendency to shoot the ball at a very high clip. And if they can get hot, and the Timberwolves have a tendency to go on cold runs, that is where this could turn into the blowout, is that if the Timberwolves shooting goes cold and the Celtics get hot like they tend to do with Derek White and Tatum and Pritchard shooting the ball on the outside, if they can do that, then that's where the 10-point spread comes into play. And I just don't think that's going to be the case. I think these guys get up for it. This is a potential playoff type matchup. I think that's just the energy that you got to have this time of year. And I liked what I saw out of the Timberwolves their last game. They, even without Edwards, they handled themselves with that playoff type energy. They competed, and I think they'll do the same thing here tonight and keep this within 10 points. So if you're going to give me plus 10, I want it in my pocket. I'll go with the Timberwolves here on this one. And another underplay here, the 220, definitely active. I just told you guys. I think this finishes out like 106 to 116. That would put it right around that 120 or that 222 mark. But I could also see it going lower than that. I could see it being like a 103 to 110 game, or maybe even turning into a blowout. If the Celtics do blow them out, it would probably be like 120 to like 92 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I kind of side the under here, but I don't play a lot of totals. But the under seems like it could be active on this one, just by a few points. Not a crazy edge, but it does look like that they might have this thing priced a little high, just for the fact that the Celtics have such a good offense. But yeah, 217, 216 feels like where the score is going to finish out around for me. And they got it at 220. So yeah, but Timberwolves, that's the play. Plus 10. Keep it moving. All right, we got one more game left on this slate, and it's that Raptors-Suns game that we talked about. Raptors are on 1 day of rest. Raptors are 7-3 against the spread against the Suns. Raptors are one of the top covering teams recently against the spread. I really like what I've seen out of the Raptors these last couple games. They've been inconsistent, but if you look at their lineup, they're getting healthy again. I can't fade the Raptors in this spot. The Suns haven't looked good. You can make an argument that, hey, Booker and Gillespie and all these guys are kind of peaking, and Grayson Allen, they got a really good guard trio out there. Dillon Brooks is still out. Grayson Allen's probably going to sit again. Looks like Mark Williams and Royce O'Neal are going to be out. So, look, give me the Raptors. They're just a more talented team when they show up, when they're not playing lazy ball and they're playing as a unit. So, Raptors here. I'll go ahead and take them here on the road against the Suns. I do like this play. I like this spot more than probably anything else other than the Nuggets play. But I'll lay the 2.5 with the Raptors, minus 2.5 with the Raptors. So Nuggets are probably the second favorite play after this 5-game slate. First, probably Raptors, and then Timberwolves plus 10. I don't hate that either. And then the alt lines are very much alive. Like, if you wanted to alt the Nuggets down and then alt the Timberwolves up, I'd really like that play as well. So there's a couple things there for you guys. Sorry if I didn't have the energy today. I've been up all night, watching games, and then had to get up early with the kids. So ex-wife and the boy older son could go play baseball. I'm excited for baseball, man. So let's have a profitable day. Looks like soccer's going our way right now. And yeah, man, we got this NCAA matchup coming up, Miami and Purdue. That should be an interesting one because Miami's got some grit to them, man. They could make that plus 7.5 a really valid play. I'm not on it. I'm not on Purdue really minus 7.5 either. I do like Purdue and the way Clough has been playing along with Braden Smith. I think they have a good chance. It really is going to come down to Clough today, in my opinion. The big man in Clough, if they can get him going and they can dominate the boards and they can get some second chance opportunities and knock down some jump shots, I do like Purdue. But that is a big number to lay for Purdue, minus 7.5 against a really gritty, good defensive Miami team. But Miami can struggle to shoot the ball at times. So I'm going to have to lean Purdue on that minus 7.5 to open up the day. But I don't absolutely love that. It's probably my least favorite play out of the whole college boards when it comes to taking a side as a spread. You guys, obviously, if you've seen my free play, go support it. Go to my Instagram, support the free play. I'll review that with you guys in this video really fast. My free play is on St. John's, minus 3.5, minus 3, wherever you can get it. I was able to grab it at Bet65, 365 at a minus 3 flat. I love that. St. John's, man, Rick Pitino is up for this game. Last year, they got knocked off by Arkansas. This is a matchup made for NCAA basketball. Look, Daryl Patterson might step up today and show why he's one of the top recruits for the NBA in the country. But for me, I like Pitino in this spot. These St. John boys have been playing really, really well. I think that we're going to get an excellent matchup with St. John's and Duke in the Elite Eight. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm seeing everything shake out here. I believe that's who they'll draw, or is it in the Sweet 16? I'd have to look at the bracket, but I do know that at some point Duke and St. John's should draw each other. It might even be in the Sweet 16, this next one up. I just know that East region is fucking loaded. But yeah, man, let's go with St. John's tonight. -3, -3.5. I think they step up, they get the win. Kansas has been soft. They haven't looked great all year long. They've been inconsistent. They have stepped up and won some big games. I will say that. There's no doubt about it. And they have the size to do it in the interior. But I like the way that St. John's has played defense. They've shot the ball much better. What worried me the other day with them wasn't the case. They absolutely manhandled Northern Iowa. I thought what Northern Iowa would do was pack in a zone, force St. John's to shoot, and that worried me. I ended up betting St. John's. I had the -9.5. I made money on them, but I was worried with that line. It was one of those lines where you're like, man, this feels like it could be a closer one than I like. Kind of like Arkansas last night with High Point, right? It feels like -11 Arkansas should be able to get with Acuff and Billy Richmond, but no, High Point kept it close. They're tough, a lot of seniors, a lot of physicality. And I think tonight, Kansas will run that zone. They'll pack it in. They'll try to force St. John's. End of the day, Kansas isn't going to make enough shots, and St. John's defense will play really, really well. So give me St. John's on that -3.5. Give me Pitino, and let's roll, guys. That is the one way. Let's run it. Let's have a wonderful fucking Sunday. Let's cash. I'm really going to be relying on these player props in the NBA tonight, as I don't really love the game lines. So that's where we're at. Guys, Novig, probably the best value right now for getting free money. Deposit 5 and you will get 50. Deposit 5 and you will get 50. I have an affiliate link always posted on my story for Novig. Go ahead and hit that link, or when you sign up, use the code ONTHEBALL, ONTHEBALL, on the ball. Use that when you sign up for Novig. Deposit 5, get 50. One of the best values. I deposited my 5, I got 50, and I've been flipping it ever since. I just put turned that $50 into like 500, and I just put 500 on Illinois last night. Obviously, I had another bet as well on them, but that's my point. You can get this free cash for $5. All it takes is a couple flips. Took me since last week, 3-4 flips, already back up, way up, $1,000 up off of a $5 deposit, guys. It's all you have to do. And even if you lost the fucking bet, it's $5 and they're giving you 50. Let's go get it. Book the one way.